What's going on? I hope all y'all tunos are good today. This is going to be a video of a content first of its kind, but many to come. Actually, I plan on doing a few every week from now on, maybe about 3, 4 vids on builds in Warframe. For people who are fairly new at the game, probably looking to have a decent build to run their favorite frames and want to be able to survive or just have fun, don't have problems grinding for any purpose at all. You just want decent builds. Well, this is going to be the first one that I present to you with Zephyre Prime. As you see here, my Zephyre, and she is dancing and she has bats around her. um she is a really good frame for those who don't have any knowledge of her. As you will see in the vid, I will be towards the end of the video, I will be displaying probably like a 5 minute period of me running some steel path, just to show you how the build comes all together and the synergy that comes along with it. Now, what are we going to be getting into? Second ability is Air Burst. Launch a burst of massively dense air. Hold to send enemies flying. Tap to pull them forward the burst towards the burst. Damage increases per enemy hit. Now, there's also a mod, and I do have the mod equipped on this build. As you can see, it increases the damage, and it has a duration of its own because of airburst rounds, which is a AUG mod for the second ability that allows you to basically have secondary damage applied to your secondary weapon. So, if you want to run this, which I still would highly recommend. It is a very good ability. It's almost like ensnare or Nidus ability larva, where it just pulls in enemies towards a single point. She just does it with her own style. But on top of that, with the mod, it gives you the damage increase for your secondary, which is something to keep a mind of. Maybe you should note that for the rest of the build later. Um, just in case you might want to keep this ability, because this is in fact the ability that I did take off only because of the build that I have for my Zephyr. None of the other abilities were able to be disposed of. It was like the only ability that I could get rid of and still have the synergy that I obtained. The third ability, Turbulence, creates a windshield around Zephyr, redirecting all incoming projectiles. This is basically something that keeps her from getting shot. As long as you have this popped, any bullets that comes your way will be basically redirected towards the wall or back at the enemies or whatever. As long as they're not hitting you, that's what you want. So it kind of gives her survivability, which is gonna work really good as you will see. And then for the fourth ability, we have tornadoes. Create daily tornadoes that seek out and engulf enemies. Tornadoes deal the elemental damage type they absorb the most. Shoot and engulf enemies to inflict extra damage. Hold for stationary tornadoes or tap for wandering ones. Um, so basically, I use this as a vortex, right? If you're familiar with Vibin, you understand how Vortex works. I use it just like Vortex. If you hold the ability down instead of just tapping it, basically it creates 3 tornadoes that sit in the area you marked, and it just pulls all the enemies in just like Vortex. And on top of that, any enemies, including the ones already in a tornado, any enemies that's not pulled in by a tornado, if they are getting touched or have any effect from the tornadoes, when you shoot the tornadoes, it damages all of them. Okay? This is something to keep in mind. This is a very important part. Okay? Anything the tornado touches takes damage from when you shoot the tornado. And that goes around the radius depending on your range. Alright. The passive ability for her, Zephyr moves faster and falls slower while airborne. Also gain 150% critical hit chance with weapons while airborne. So basically, we're gonna use this added 150% critic chance to our use we're gonna basically be pushing that for pushing DPS while we're remaining in the air. So let's get back into what's actually going on with the build. All right, going into the build. First, we're gonna start off with the aura mod. Aerodynamic, reduce damage by 24% when airborne, plus 6 seconds aim glide wall latch duration. Um, Excellent slot, modus signal, increase double jump strength by 200%. Not that I really use that. I only using it for the set bonus, which gives you 33% chance to become immune to knockdown effects while airborne. Um, so basically, any NPC that comes around and tries to does knockback animation that would essentially knock you down um, while you're in the air, it just basically keeps that from happening. And I only have this one out of the set. There are three which will put you at 99% immunity, but just at 33% with turbulence works way better than maybe it should, but it does work. But anyway, prime continuity. I'm sorry. Uh, got my words mixed up. Basically, I'm rocking that, and this is the only duration mod that I'm rocking because for me, 145% duration is perfectly fine. I don't need more or less than that. Uh, and that's just to cover the second, the third, and the fourth ability, which will all have synergy. Next, I got Aviator, reduce damage by 40% when airborne. This, along with my aerodynamic, gives me 64% damage reduction while I'm in the air. Um, I have Spectro Siphon, which is the AUG mod for the ability that I put on my build, which comes from Gara. So if you want this ability to do this build specifically, you will have to sacrifice you Agara and the helmet, right? Because with this mod here, enemies that die within have a 50% chance to drop an energy orb. And that is going to be really crucial to this build, being that not only are we sitting at 100% efficiency, right? But we're going to be popping these because these don't stay active. But we're going to be popping these fairly basically the whole time. The whole time you're going to be popping abilities, right? And you're gonna remain in your first ability always because that's what's going to allow you to stay in the air, just float in the air. Is to be in your first ability, but it is an energy draining ability. So the need for energy consumption is definitely high, and this is going to be what balances your whole build out right here. Right here. Okay? Overextended for the range of the tornadoes and the mirrors. You want to get as much range as you can on those. Also, range is good for turbulence because the better range that you have, the basically the more distance you put between you and any projectiles that's fired at you, right? A jet stream, which goes along with turbulence, movement speed by 40%, and projectile speed by 100% for Zephyre and all her allies, which basically gives you better movement speed in the air, lets you move a little quicker around. And then you're going to be using this also for the projectile speed for your weapon, um, which we're going to get into the weapon of the synergy with the build in a second. Of course, Vitality. I'm running Vitality just to give me some health, just in case something does go out of hand. I got 1100 health, which will give me plenty of time to basically get reorganized and get a reset in, just in case, like, I don't know, the little baby stalkers come in and let's say they pull me out of my ability and I get put back on the ground or whatever. Here we got Vigilante Vigor, Shield Recharge. I'm only rocking this to go with my primary for synergy. It's a shield recharge, which gives me slight shield recharge. Not that we're really gonna need it, because like I said, as long as you have this damage reduction and you make sure you're always in your turbulence, you're not gonna need pretty much anything to help you out surviving. You're gonna be pretty much untouched. Okay. So you won't have to worry about that. And of course, Prime Flow to give you as much energy as possible. Now, the Arcanes that I'm running, as you can see, I don't have many Arcanes, so I have to use what I can. And so I'm running this Theorem, oh, it was called Theorem Democent. I don't want to mispronounce this, but at rank 5, standing in the zone created by a residual arcane increases weapon damage by 12%, stacking up to 15 times. Effect persists for 20 seconds upon leaving zone. Next, we got Arcane Precision. At rank 5, 100% chance for 300% damage to pistols for 18 seconds. Now, because I had to take off my second ability, I made sure to put my Arcane on, because I want to make up for that extra secondary damage that I was missing out on with my second ability. Um, and it's also going to go really good, really, really good with the build. So that is the build itself. Now let's get into the things that I'm synergizing with it. This weapon right here, I call it my Hades, but it's a kick gun, and it's the Spore Lacer, if I'm not mistaken, the Spore Lacer that you get from out of Deimos. You get it from Father. He sells the kid gun parts. You can go to him and get Spore Lacer, and you have to get the other two parts that I put together from Fortuna.
Let's see if we can do something for each other. Sure I can't tempt you?
Okay, once you get the part from Father out of Deimos, you want to come to Fortuna. As soon as you spawn in, go right over here to the right to talk to Rude Zood. I'm sorry.
Channel chatter to craft
And you want
guns
to
unlike
require
any other.
these two other parts from
We
him.
craft kit guns.
So go,
Fine.
no, don't go to other services. Don't
Your
do that. Go to
neediness
Browse
is
Wares,
profoundly
and
unattractive.
you want to look for Haymaker.
Kill sticks like you've never seen,
The ultimate
stranger.
grip for when one
Click,
shot is
bang,
all you
their
need.
limbs fall
Devastating,
off.
minimum
This
rate of fire,
pleases
minimum
you,
range for
yes?
beam weapons, maximum damage. This is what you want. Costs 1,000 standing points. You also want to get the part right below it, which is the Bash Rack. High capacity loader with increased critical chance and lower status chance. This is what you want to grab from Fortuna, and in the total you will need 3,000 standing points. I'm not sure of the rank you have to be to acquire both pieces, but I am rank 3, as you can see up at the left top right here. And at rank 3 you can acquire both of these, and you just have to make sure you farm for the material to build them, which take an hour per part. You can build them all together. You don't have to
Fine.
wait on each one to
Next.
get built separately. Then when you have all three of those parts, you want to come over here and put them together as such.
Sure, why not?
And let's see, where is it? Right. And this is basically what you're going to get as a start off. These are the stats before you guild the weapon. Come with 23% critical chance, 3.1 times multiplier, crit multiplier, 12% status. Then preview with gilded, and when gilded, as you can see, the crit chance goes up to 28% base. Crit multiplier stays the same. Most of this all stays the same. You get 5% more status chance, which brings it up to 17, and then you get a little bit increase on the impact damage. I will try to show you. You can get toxic damage. You can't really see it, but it's down there. You get toxic damage. Goes up to 403, and that will be your base stats for when this is gilded. This is not including the mods. This is just by itself. Okay, Tendo, keep following me. Once you obtain those parts and you get your kit gun built, you got your Zephyre build ready, threw some formers on her. It's fine. Come into the relay. come into arbitrations. You want to go to arbitration
Have
honors,
you
and you want to
survived
go down and you
arbitration?
want to get your
Honors
hands
await you.
on Energizing Shot, which is for a secondary. Shoot energy orbs to obtain them with plus 110% extra effect at max rank. Um, I don't have mines at max rank as you're going to be seeing when I preview, but this is what you want to come in and get. It costs 30 Vitus Essence. 30 Vitus Essence is easily obtainable. You just run some of the arbitration missions. Usually I like to run the survival. Um, a lot of times they have defense up. Either or is fine. Interception is even pretty cool. Interception I have seen at times can give you maybe a lot more drops on Vitus Essence, so you don't have to stay around as long to get as many. But definitely you want to go run that so you can get your hands on this mod. This is really important to the build. This is gonna be what synergizes with the second ability to give you all the energy you're ever gonna need for the entire time that you're on the mission. That you're in the mission, you're grinding. As long as you want to stay, you won't have any energy problems if you get your hands on this mod. Now, once you got all the parts that I've shown from Deimos and from Fortuna, and you went and got the Energized Shot, I am going to show you how this all synergizes together. First, let me show you the build. The build on my kit gun consists of me using Hornet Strike for the damage, of course, Galvanized Diffusion instead of Barrel Diffusion for the multi-shot because Galvanized Diffusion gives you 110% multi-shot right off the back as opposed to Barrel Diffusion which only gives you 120 multi-shot. And then on top of the multi-shot off the back you get 30 multi-shot for 20-second stacks up to 4 times. So that is an extra 120 multi-shot once the kills start flowing. Um, so basically it's barrel diffusion, but with the actual extra 110% multi-shot. Okay, lethal torrent for fire rate and for the little extra multi-shot, which is always good. Jolt and toxic damage I slapped together for corrosive, as you can see. That's gonna do really good, nice damage right there. Target Cracker, if you have primed Target Cracker, then I would suggest that you use that instead of the one that I have equipped. Only reason why I don't have the prime one equipped is because it's not leveled up yet. Which I technically I guess I could fix it right now, but oh well, it really doesn't matter at this point. But if you have the prime target cracker, definitely you want to put that on. So running that, and then the galvanized crosshair. This is something you do not have to place here. I have this here only because I noticed that the AOE does headshot damages, and if you pay attention in the mission, I have me doing a steel path run at the end of this. But basically, if you pay attention to that part of the video, you will see that this mod actually procs a lot more than maybe it should while as it's being held on a AoE weapon, you would think it wouldn't get headshots, but I mean it does, and it gives me extra crit, and because of that extra crit, bro, you just do that much more damage, and more damage is always good. Of course, I got creeping bullseye, which gives you the critical chance 200% increase, but the negative 25 rate, which is not that bad considering you got lethal torrent on, and then you're using turbulence from Zephyre, which also gives you projectile speed. So your overall DPS takes no negative hits. Everything is straight up. And then residual shock for the arcane for the kit guns, particularly this one, 20% chance to spawn an electrified spike for 12 seconds, dealing 200 electricity damage to enemies within 10 meters. Standing in the area applies electricity damage to Therum Arcanes, which is basically the arcane I showed you on my actual Zephyr build itself. It just means that once this procs, which is the little blue rings you will be seeing popping up everywhere randomly off enemy kills. And if I'm even near that, like basically right over it or like right at the border of it, it gives me the stack damage from that proc. which just makes me even wreck more. So it's pretty broken. A secondary merciless, of course, for the actual arcane, rank 5, gives you 30% damage for 4 seconds, stacks up to 12 times. That's a nice chunk of damage. It gives you increased reload speed, which gives you increased DPS, and it gives you 100% ammo maximum. So you don't have to break from your little killing spree just to pick up ammo. Give yourself a couple more seconds, or maybe like an extra minute or two before I have to actually go to refill ammo, which you still don't have to come down as long as you equip something that has vacuum on. Then just hover over all the resources dropped on the ground, and your companion will for sure pick it up. All right, now I showed you this. If you want a cheaper build, just let me know and I can help you out with that. But for now, this requires 5 formers, and if I put target crack on there, it's probably going to require 1 more former. So this technically is like a 6 former build. But you don't have to do that. I mean, there's ways to get really like pretty close to the DPS I'm putting out without so much mod capacity being taken. But yeah, this is the build, and I'm gonna show you all together what this means for the build. Spawn in some level 160s. Gather some energy. And basically when you're in a mission, you're going to find a nice little spot where you can just sit in your first ability as so, away from the enemy so they don't pretty much damage you. Make sure you always have your turbulence pop with 145% duration. You get 28 seconds. Plenty of time. You just want enough time to be able to do everything you have to do, to get a couple kills, get the energy going, then you can just repop it whenever. So basically you want to pop your tornadoes. Once your tornadoes pop, bring all enemies in. Always put your mirrors right in the same spot you threw the tornado, so it's circling around tornadoes like that. All the enemies are within the mirror, so then you can just start killing. As you can see, that one shot at everybody. That's the blue ring I was talking about, and if I stand over it, you can tell that I'm getting the buff from it already, okay? And basically, it drops all the energy you need to refill, and then you basically keep this process up for as long as you would like. If you want to do 2-hour run, 3-hour endurance runs, doesn't matter. If you want to do a defense, doesn't matter. If you want to do excavation with this build, doesn't matter. This build is like the ultimate farming build. I'll show you once again. Tornadoes. I'm gonna back so I don't get my my Helios to pick up the energy. So I can show you. So when I shoot, one shot, and pretty much my weapon had already picked up the energy, if you could tell when I did that. But there's some energy orbs down there, so I'm just gonna shoot that. And as you can see, it gave me 180 energy just off. Looks as if it was 3 energy orbs, and basically your gun and the ability with the mirrors is gonna keep you always full of energy. You're never gonna have a problem with energy with this build, which allows you to be OP and pretty much cause carnage and be comfortable in any match or mission that you choose. That is the build. Any more information or details that you might want or that you might want to discuss with me, you can gladly do so in the comment section or just send me a private message. I will respond. Other than that, I will be putting a 30-minute run of me in a steel path solo, using this build, so you can pretty much get a really good look at how the build synergizes, how it works, how much damage you're expecting, what's the energy consumption, any little information basically is going to be all available if you just look at the rest of the video. But glad you came. Hope you liked the vid. Hope you liked the build. Hope everything makes sense to you. Like I said, if it didn't, just let me know, and I'll try to discuss with you back and forth. Um, Drop a like, subscribe. Got more vids coming for other frames, of course. Um, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the vid. Probably grab some snacks, 'cause like I said, it's gonna be a 30-minute run, so
The art of combat must be practiced to truly master the canvas of war.
They have just shut down all systems. I'm sending life support capsules your way. Ready for a capsule. I've delivered a life support capsule to the area. Activating it will buy you more time. Life support on the way. I've delivered another life support capsule. operative is making progress. This will help our cause. Extraction is available if you need it. this bounty. Hold out as long as you can. longer you fight, the more successful we will be. You are running out of time. Consider extraction. Extraction is ready. Life support activated. Look what our Tenno operative just found. They could not do this without you. We will all share in this bounty. Hold out as long as you can. what our Tenno operative just found. They could not do this without you.
Very good.